are live.
What is up, everybody? This is James Walmer, and welcome to Strictly Casual. Joining me today is the amazing Vincent DeSantis. This is Strictly Casual, your one and only unoriginal podcast by unprofessional college students, and the only podcast in which your hosts unintentionally match.
Yeah, you already know what's going on.
This is the second time this has happened.
It's just great minds think alike, you know? There's not much I can say else, you know?
This is why we're in this together, Vin.
Exactly.
This is exactly
Wouldn't have a better partner. Wait,
today
couldn't
we have 8 items on the docket.
That's right.
It's okay, Vin.
It's just bad English, you know? We're running a podcast, my English is like a C-.
It's okay.
Okay.
So we have 8 items for you today. Quite a lot. Big things.
Yeah, what
things.
What are we going over?
First of all, whoa, hold on. Can't jump the gun, Vin.
Give him a preview. What do we got?
Okay, all right. You know what?
Just a little preview. A little taste. Uh-huh.
Well, the big head honcho of this docket, is a little inside Xbox event that happened yesterday.
Yep.
You know, and Vin and I discussed it a lot. We said, we should live stream it. We should, try and jump on that as soon as possible. But because resources are slim at the moment, and trying to get more resources in this time in Corona is impossible.
No, everything's back ordered. Everything's unobtainable at the moment, and ridiculous prices. Right. It's extortion out there. You gotta watch out. Don't overpay for stupid stuff, people.
It's true. However, we're still covering that bad boy.
That's right.
We took notes live.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be reading them off for you today. That's the big boy. Got a little bit of a Fallen Order free update. A lot of EA stuff going on.
A little Cyberpunk stuff going on. And of course, some RFS, random fun stuff. Absolutely.
And if we have time, some questions at the end.
That's right.
From you, the audience.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let's get started.
Yeah?
Let's get started.
Wait.
First of all, Vin, how you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. Pretty good.
Great.
But what I was going to bring up, James, was an experience like no other I had this week.
Wow.
And you
more.
told me I should tell the story on the podcast, so I'm gonna give a little. I'm gonna tell an abridged version.
I can't wait for this. Okay.
So the Clone Wars ends. This is a little off gaming topic. It's a little on the Star Wars topic. You know.
That's okay. It's all welcome here.
It's all welcome. The Clone Wars ends, and of course I want to finish up, and I want to watch Revenge of the Sith, as I was saying last week, right?
Of course. So
I throw it on. Of course, my dad's a pretty big Star Wars fan too. So me and my brother and my dad are watching. And my mom comes in, she sits down and starts watching. And I've assumed that all of us have seen this movie. Apparently, my mother has not seen this Star Wars movie at all. And she was completely unaware that Anakin is Darth Vader. Okay? Oh, big spoilers here.
Pretty big reveal.
I had to watch her reactions through the 2 hours of Anakin becoming evil, and she was absolutely appalled. When Anakin starts going evil and then, kills the younglings and chokes Padme, she was going through it. My mom had absolutely no idea. And she was, stunned. And it was just a great experience. You can't really have that experience with too many people now, because everybody knows. Everybody's seen it. But I was seeing it through her eyes, seeing it for the first time. I was like, wow, this is great. This is something else. That's all. That's my story for the week, James. How you doing?
Was there any auditory responses?
Yeah. There was gasps. There was the big eyes, the
the big eyes.
Yeah. And there was oh my god. A lot of that too. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Okay. How's your week?
He's good. Start online classes.
Yeah, same. Astronomy right now for me.
Yep. Clone Wars ended at the beginning of this week.
Oh my god, you guys go watch Clone Wars. At least the last arc, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So
I restarted Bloodborne this week.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm at the I forgot what he's called. The big dude who's made out of all the bodies.
Okay.
It's just like a big piling heap of like skeletons and flesh and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, beat Rom the vacuous spider.
Rom the vacuous spider. What a name.
Yeah. It's so sad. He's literally, you jump down into this like lake and he's just chilling there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like he won't attack you if you don't attack him.
But you gotta make it happen. You gotta kill him.
You gotta ruin his day.
Sure.
It's gotta happen.
It's fair.
And then you ruin his day.
Yesterday, I streamed an hour of Uncharted 3.
How'd it go?
It was good. I had a couple people in the chat hanging out.
Cool.
It was a great time, and I am seeing where you're coming from. That Uncharted 3 is better than Uncharted 2. I can't say it yet for sure, but as I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, you might be right.
It's the
you
truth.
might be right.
It's the truth.
But God, I love those games so much.
I'm gonna sneeze.
And bless you. Oh, round 2. Bless you. No way. No way. Round 3. Wait for it, everybody. Wait for it. Negative. Okay, nothing's happening. Okay, alright. Okay, so, while James is deciding if he's going to sneeze for a third time or not. Okay, there it is. He sneezed.
Whew.
We're jumping right in. Right in to the Xbox event.
We're jumping right into the thick of it, boys. Right in the middle of the crossfire.
Now,
With
keep in mind, this is started at 8 a.m. our time. So I set my alarm for like 7:56, so I can find the webpage fast enough to watch this thing. I'm watching it in bed, and okay, let me preface this by, if you don't know, me and James primarily play PlayStation. That does not mean we're Xbox haters by any means of the imagination.
except we hate Xbox.
Except we hate Xbox. Just kidding. But I was like very optimistic about this event, and so when we're about to maybe shit on it a little bit, it's coming from a place of love, coming from a place of Xbox do better. PlayStation.
We don't hate it
too.
because it's Xbox. We hate it because it's bad.
Right. Exactly. I saw a ranking on Twitter that afterwards, after the whole thing was over, I think Jeff Keighley put it up. He's like, what would you rate that Xbox event? Which he shouldn't have done, because wasn't he like running it with Summer?
No.
Wasn't that part of Summer of Gaming or whatever?
Oh God, I hope not.
Anyways,
I thought Summer of Gaming started in June.
It had a D ranking. That was the lowest. It was A, B, C, D, and D ranking was at like 50 or something %.
I gave it a C.
Yeah, I did too, actually. I gave it a C. But the video on YouTube, I think when I left it, it had a half dislikes, half likes. I don't know if that's changed or not. I can check in a minute, but
I remember it switched around the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, it was fine.
Trailer,
it was
like right afterward.
Right. We'll get to that in a second.
When it really took a turn for the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to do a quick rundown of your notes?
I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna go straight through them.
Yeah.
First off, we have a game called Bright Memory. This is probably the highlight.
It looked so sick.
Of the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we got the least amount of information about it. Also, the compression rate for this game, well, like, not for the game, but for the stream on YouTube, was awful, so I couldn't really see anything.
Mine looked alright.
Because it just... Okay. Maybe it's just... something going on. But we got a lot going on here, okay? There's a lot of different concepts. So, like, it looks like you kind of have, like, medieval, like, plate armor on, but then he pulls out, like, a assault rifle and a pistol, and it's kind of got, like, the Titanfall, like, movement, style ammo counter on the side, and movement. Got free running mechanics. I don't know how you're free running in a suit of armor, but like that's okay. I don't care.
It's all about
you have fun. A grapple hook on your arm. There's one point where there's a dude with like a shield and like a lance or a sword, and you do some sort of like you slide into him and you launch him in the air and you shoot him up a little bit, and then you take your sword out, which no one knew you had, and you dice him up a little bit in the air.
That's right.
And then you like slam him on the ground. Dude's dead. And then you do some more running around, shoot some people, and then you get into this car. Also, this is all set in, like, Japan.
Yeah.
Like very
Right.
obvious,
like feudal Japan.
some sort of Asian or Japanese
Mm-hmm.
theme here. And so you finally like jump into this like it's the car. The car kind of looks like if you either had the Cyberpunk car or the what am I trying to think of? The Batman car from the I'm blanking on the actor's name. The new one.
Oh,
I'm
Ben
blanking
Affleck?
on him right now. No. The one
Christian
we haven't
Bale?
gotten any movies with. No.
Oh, Robert Pattinson?
Twilight guy. Robert
Yeah,
Pattinson.
Robert
Thank you.
Okay.
Just couldn't think of it. This looks really cool. Maybe stuck in development hell forever. Definitely could be one of those games that we see like here and never hear about for another 5 years.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Next up,
Bright Memory.
and that's
I'm excited for it. Now,
I am too. It looks great.
Okay, a lot of these games are they Xbox first party? All of these games? Because Assassin's Creed sure.
They're not.
Right, so I think they just unveiled a lot of games. There's potential that this game's coming to PS5 too.
Absolutely, but we don't
know. Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember whether I had a little thing that says exclusively on Xbox.
Yeah. They just had the
Next up we have Dirt 5. Yeah, the little smart delivery thing. Next up we have Dirt 5. It's set in New York. It's Dirt 5. You race some cars around a track.
You got Nolan North and Troy Baker.
In the same game. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
They play one of them plays the main antagonist and one of them is the protagonist. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're trying to build a story, not just the racing. And of course, the dirt graphics always look good, so I'm sure it'll look great spinning tires in mud on the next gen.
A lot of spinning tires in mud.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. In New York.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
That's Dirt 5. If you're excited, there's a trailer.
In Ebb Software, not in Ebb Software, but from Ebb Software. As a part of the Xbox Game Pass is this little game called Scorn. And this is, I literally wrote in my notes, gross ass game.
Yeah.
Literally, what the fuck? I can't explain this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was weird as hell. There was some, like, resurrection stuff going on with some, like,
okay,
demons.
This isn't a new game.
Phalluses and all this kind of stuff. Okay.
This isn't a new game. We've seen this before.
What
it has been. I remember we got this trailer I want to say like a year or two ago.
Same trailer?
And it was not the same trailer. It was a
Okay.
different trailer, but it was for Scorn.
Uh-huh.
And in the trailer, it actually shows gameplay.
Okay.
And the protagonist or whoever you play as, kind of like, you're in this room that's really fleshy as kind of the game, as the aesthetic goes.
Uh-huh.
Like, it looks like you are in like a stomach or something like that.
Okay.
Some part of anatomy. And you have this weapon that looks like it's made out of like bone.
Mm-hmm.
And you like take the little like thing up the top and you put like bones, like little like smaller bones inside it.
Okay.
And you start shooting these like other like demons or whatever they are.
Huh. Interesting. I'll have to look up gameplay.
I don't.
Or that
Yeah.
trailer.
It's from a while ago, but I don't know what to expect from this game. There's a retractable finger penis.
Yeah,
at
man.
some point,
It was weird.
and it's a weird game, but I could see it being good.
I wasn't even
somehow.
intrigued afterwards. I was like just grossed out, and that was it. I was like, well, that's the last time I ever see anything about that game. For me. But we'll
Color
see.
me intrigued. I want to know more.
Okay, fair enough.
From Deep Silver is this game called Chorus, but with a V instead of a U.
Is it not
Rises
Corvus?
1. No, it's not Corvus.
Okay.
It's Chorus. It has smart delivery, spaceships, dogfighting, and the aesthetic kind of matches the game Control.
That is super
Like,
funny
if
you say
you
that.
didn't see the spaceships,
Yeah.
like you'd be like, oh, this is Control DLC.
That's super funny you say that, because I was thinking the same exact thing when I was watching it. But I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, maybe I'm just saying that because it's a female protagonist with superpowers, you know? So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It does kind of look like Control a little bit.
It looks like Control.
Yeah.
It looks like a dog fighting game.
Yeah.
Not really my thing, but a lot of people's thing. It might be. It's kind of arcadey. Not super like hardcore dog fighter.
Yeah, that's what I texted you, right? It kind of looks arcadey.
More like, yeah, you texted me that, and it kind of looks like more invaded that Star Fox dog fighty.
Yeah, it sure doesn't look like a $60 game.
No,
it looks
probably
like
30, 40.
Yeah, exactly. Like an experience you play for a while, not a full thing. But it looks kind of cool. I would say I would put this above a lot of the other games we've seen on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this thing.
From EA, we have Madden 21. Patrick Mahomes is headlining as the cover guy.
Yep.
And so I have in my notes, how much do you think they paid for him? And then he made like a joke about how like he's pretty like new or whatever, he's young, and so I said, LOL, we get it, he's young. And then the buzzword of the entire trailer is feel the experience,
right.
Not just watch it, but you feel it.
And they had the trailer going through like the older versions of the games all the way to the newer versions and the graphical improvements and stuff like that. We've seen that kind of trailer before for Madden, but to be honest, I think it works. I think that trailer works.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, I guess so. James, have you played like a Madden game in a long time? Like, or bought a Madden game? Ever?
Not in a while. I haven't bought one for at least 10 years.
The last one I bought was like Madden 13 on my PS3. And I played Madden 13 for years after it was like already gone because I didn't really care about catching up with the players and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
It was more of like, that was a fun couch game with friends, you know? But that's as far as that went for me. I could never get like really into it. But I'm also not like a huge football fan. I like football, but I'm not like diehard.
Same.
Yeah.
Coming in next is a game from Hardsuit Labs and Paradox Interactive called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, the king of subtitles. Because there's like
it's
3
big.
of them.
Yeah.
Big title. I don't know who's on their marketing team.
Right.
But
this game had a weird ass start.
It was a weird ass start. I texted you. I said, "Oh, Sims 5."
Yeah, that was hilarious. It's basically this guy dancing around with these knives or whatever, and he's strung people up like puppets and like cut their faces open and shit. It's disgusting. And James like, "Oh, it's Sims 5."
He's like forcing him to smile, and like their eyes are big.
It's gross.
They look excited.
It's gross.
It is really gross.
And it went on way too long. Like,
I think it was way too long of the things that didn't matter.
And it didn't even look like vampires the entire time. I was like, oh, okay, it's vampires.
I thought it was like some sort of superpower game.
The art style was, I don't know. It looked familiar.
It looked outdated, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of The Darkness.
The Darkness.
Darkness 1, Darkness 2, the one where you had little demon dudes they were like arms and they'd whip out at people.
I can't picture it, but I believe you.
It was a fun game. Probably not a great game, but I had fun. In my notes, I have so I was writing these down as I was watching the trailers, and so I wrote graphics are just not impressive. Some sort of superpower theme, and then I wrote vampires.
Question mark.
I guess.
Question mark.
Because you don't see any like indicative things of vampires.
No. It's
like,
just superpowers and demonish stuff. So like vampires. This is it.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's fine. It's not for me.
It's fine. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good.
Yep.
There's another game that's more of like an exploration style game. Reminded me a lot of oh my god, what's the big one on Xbox right now? I'm blanking this morning. I'm
Sea
sorry.
of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves. That's the art style it reminds me of.
Yeah.
It's from Out of the Blue Games called Call of the Sea. And I should have looked this up beforehand. What is Out of the Blue
Studios? See,
games or studios?
When I was watching this live, I really didn't think
games.
anything of it. But
This is their only
afterwards,
game.
I saw like people saying that this was the best show they had or the best thing they showed. So I went back and watched it again, And I was like, okay, I can see where people are coming from. This looks interesting. Like, I'm not going to discount that.
But we really just didn't see a lot.
No.
So we have like pretty cartoon graphics.
James,
like I said,
we didn't see a lot of
CFDs.
anything in this conference.
You're right. That is very true. It's about some woman traveling on an island trying to find something, I assume. There's this notion of giant beasts because there's like a big serpent in the water, and then I have in all caps shape of water because you see at the very end of the trailer it's like someone with webbed hands like going through the water, and so there's a woman and there's this man fish, and it reminded me of shape of water.
That's fair enough. It's gotta happen. Okay, this
Any
next
other
one,
thoughts, Vin?
I have not a lot of thoughts on Call of the Sea. It could be cool.
Okay.
Let's say this is like my second favorite showing they did here.
Okay, that's fair. What about this next one, Vin?
This next one, they kind of played me. I don't know. They had these like cutscenes or whatever that looked pretty sweet, and then not saying that the overhead shooter is bad, but then they went like, okay, it's just an overhead shooter, where you're shooting.
It's a cock
things.
block.
A little bit. I was like, you kind of need to. The way you experience this cyberpunky world. Okay, this game's called The Ascent. Sorry, and you play as this pig thing, and you shoot these other animalistic things in a cyberpunky world, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
There's a lot of colors, a lot of bullets, and a lot of repetitive sound effects. And I got that repetitive sound effects from the trailer, so I imagine when you're playing that game for hours on end, that would be something that would annoy me. But maybe to other people it doesn't matter. But that's just my thought.
Twin stick shooter.
Yeah. Thanks. That's what
It's
I was
got a
looking
loot
for.
mechanic. You see him opening a loot box, so there's some sort of loot.
Yep.
Character customization's a big thing for them. They said, oh, you can
Mhm.
customize your character in all these different ways, whatever. Co-op because it's a twin stick shooter. And I assume it's narrative based because they gave a lot of attention to the cutscenes and stuff like that.
Yep.
All right, weird ass game of the showcase number 2. It's called The Medium.
Yep.
It's a psychological horror set in Poland. You see this woman getting a ultrasound
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital, and then you see something freaking out with the baby. You're like, all right, what the hell is this? Then you see her in a chapel, and she's like praying, whatever. Then she goes outside the chapel. Her hands start bleeding. I think she stabs herself. I don't know if she stabs herself in the stomach. I don't know what happens there, but you see a lot of like fading over to another like.
It's like
just
two
kinda
events
like
happening
that alternate
simultaneously,
reality.
and they're just like paralleling each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea is that you are like, this woman is the medium to an alternate dimension, and so they have like. But I'm also really confused by this game in particular because they have this theme of like an alternate dimension, but then when they were interviewing the guy afterward, he was talking about how there's like aspects of cybernetic conflict and stuff like that, and like the ethics regarding cybernetics and like robotic stuff like that. Like
that sounds like a
to
weird
something you would
place.
see in like Detroit Become Human or Deus Ex, those same sort of themes. And so
I didn't get any
I'm
type
trying
of that
to
vibe
figure
from
out-
this trailer.
I
at
didn't
all.
either. So I'm wondering how they're going to put that in there. Important things to note. It is the same composer as from the Silent Hill franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Major F for the rumored Silent Hill franchise that's supposed to be in development. But, you know, he's not the only composer out there. Major theme is, will you sacrifice yourself for family? And apparently PTSD will play a big part of the narrative. Yeah, and then I talked about the
I
other
don't
stuff
know.
that I wrote down.
Sure, the graphics look great and stuff, but
Sure.
I don't know. I wasn't hooked in after this or whatever. It kind of lost me halfway through. I was like,
I like psychological horrors,
Mm-hmm.
so the like weird obscure themes kind of interested me.
Yeah, cool.
But we'll see if it's good or not.
Exactly.
Next game So Cyberpunk is a huge. This is funny, Vin, because
Yeah.
Cyberpunk games are such a huge theme at this event, but we never actually got Cyberpunk 2077. We got all these other Cyberpunk
It's
games, and
honestly
we
a damn
kept
shame.
thinking that they were gonna do Cyberpunk 2077 with one of these openings.
It was
but
rumored.
Never happened. It was rumored.
It would have helped. It
But-
would have helped this show.
It would have helped a damn lot.
Yeah.
But we got another Cyberpunk game, and this one's anime. It's called
Mhm.
Scarlet Nexus. There's a Gatling alligator, as in an alligator
Yeah.
with a Gatling gun in its mouth.
Right.
So a key mechanic of this game is called psychokinesis, and basically you're just moving stuff around with your mind.
Yeah.
Looks like the sort of game that it could be made by Platinum Games. Very like hack and slash sort of.
It's third-person anime action adventure.
Yep. Right.
But okay, everything looks really good in this except the enemy design. I was like, okay, it's like plants with
but
short
with human
skirts.
limbs.
Yeah. I was like, it's like the enemy is like. Oh,
Can you get
God.
more anime, Vin?
I know. I'm sure you do. That's just me being nitpicky. But the protagonist design looks super sick.
It does look really
Using
cool.
all of his powers and stuff. I was like, damn, this looks dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Another FPS game, but this one's with dinosaurs,
Yep.
and it's called Second Extinction. No. Systemic Reaction.
No, Second Extinction. Yeah.
What? Why did I write Systemic Reaction? I don't know.
I have absolutely no idea. I was gonna.
Oh, that's the developer. The
Okay.
developer is Systemic Reaction.
Got it.
Second Extinction, Reclaim Earth. It's just dinosaurs co-op, kill all the dinosaurs, and
All
that's
right.
the whole point of the game.
Here you go. Here's the little asterisks that pop up. If you're a developer watching this podcast right now, and you are in the drawing board, like thinking about game ideas and stuff, I would just like to throw it out there that a dinosaur first-person shooter's been done. Okay, we've seen it in the arcades over the last 20 years. Okay, we've seen games of it. The dinosaur shooter, kill it. We don't want any more dinosaur shooters, okay? They never do well. Tell me a dinosaur shooter that has a good rating and a player base. Okay, there's actually not that many
Okay, well, I
dinosaur
know
shooters.
the old Turok games were good. But
What's
those are
Turok?
Turok?
Yeah.
That's like the OG dinosaur shooter. Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
I don't even know what it is. I'll look it up.
Oh my god. It was in like the I think it debuted on N64.
I rolled my
Or
eyes when I saw this
PlayStation.
trailer. Just straight up rolled my eyes. Now that's not to say it doesn't look pretty, because it looks pretty.
It just looks generic.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur shooter. What can you expect? Shooting out of a vehicle, just running around shooting.
I want a good dinosaur shooter, Vin.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I want a
this
good
could be it.
dinosaur shooter.
This could be it. for
This
all I know.
could be it. But they didn't really expand on any of the core game mechanics too much.
They really
They
didn't.
just said kill everything.
Okay, we got one more new game that showed, and then the biggest
One more new
disappointment of
game.
a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. So, the game that's not the disappointment is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Mhm.
Okay, so in the premise, I understand, is you are a man by the name of Ichi, I think. And so you have been with this gang for a while, but all of a sudden the boss is like, no, you're out of the gang. And he's
Ooh.
like, no. So you make your own gang.
Right.
And there's a point in the trailer where you Excalibur, as in you pull out this metal bat with like barbed wire all over it
Mhm.
from the ground, and it's glowing blue, and it's epic.
It is pretty
And-
epic.
There's a lot of chaos in this trailer,
Yeah.
and I loved every minute of it. There is a lobster boss
Mhm.
where you just see a giant lobster
Yeah.
being a
Sure.
giant lobster.
James, we're getting a lot of animal and plant enemies in this showcase.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of here for it.
Fair enough.
This is actually big because we've never seen a Yakuza game unveiled at an Xbox conference. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right.
Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It looked cool to me. I haven't played a Yakuza game, so I feel like if I did, I would be more hyped for this if I had previous experience. I've always wanted to play a Yakuza game. I just kind of never got around to it. But also, it's very Bruce Lee. The colors at the end, they streaked the yellow and everything. It's like a kind of a rogue character in the Kung Fu doing stuff. You know, I was like, oh man. Very Bruce Lee. I'm in. I'd play this.
I loved every minute of it. This game and Scarlet Nexus are both big for an Xbox conference because Xbox has struggled to showcase and show to the audience of the JRPG and these a little more, for lack of a better word, obscure games.
Mm-hmm. Or international.
International. That's a far better word. These international games that are less out of the ordinary for your Western American gamers.
Mm-hmm. Right. So this is good. That's a step in the right direction for them.
Mm-hmm. All right. And lastly, the biggest disappointment of the show.
Yep.
Was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Now, James, last week we said we got all the Assassin's Creed news. Also, thank you guys so much for that great episode last week. Holy cow.
Oh my god, yeah,
you knocked our socks off with the views on that one. We covered it, and at the end we said we will be covering the Assassin's Creed gameplay next week at the Xbox event.
It was a gameplay reveal.
How cool is that?
They said the gameplay reveal.
Yeah, I was so excited to tell you guys.
We wanted the pan of the wide shot that gradually narrows down, and it's the protagonist on the horse or on the field or on the rooftop or whatever, and you just go straight into it. But we didn't get any of that.
No, James, we didn't get jack shit. Dude, I'll tell you what we got.
This is my notes.
Yeah.
So first of all, trailer opens and it's this cutscene, and you're sitting there and you see the hidden, as I call it, the not so hidden blade.
Yeah.
Because it's it has gold all over it and everything. You can really tell that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
They're sieging a castle, which can be inferred that there's siege mechanics going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's boo you, Xbox, because we never actually get real gameplay.
Yeah.
It's just cutscenes.
We just get a trailer.
We just get a trailer.
I was fully expecting a 13 to 15 minute someone has a controller and is playing and they captured it,
me too.
And they have someone narrate over it or something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
welcome to the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Exactly. It's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get shit like that, dude. It was, oh my god, it was just, ugh. Honestly, while I was watching it, I was like, okay, we have this little cinematic opening, and then they had the bird flying overhead, and I was like, okay, here's where the gameplay starts. I'm ready. And then the logo came on screen, and they were like, well, that's it, folks. You know what I mean? I was like,
yep.
You guys are the worst.
There are a few things to note, though, in the discussion afterward, in which they point out reinvented combat, which I'm excited for, because I didn't really care for the combat style of Odyssey.
Hopefully they don't reinvent it too much, because I like it.
They reinvent it a lot.
No.
I don't want that arcadey shit, man.
Arcadey?
It was so arcadey.
That's an unpopular
It was!
No. I disagree. I can't agree with that at all. Okay. It was strategic combat.
It was an ability wheel. I don't want any ability
wheels
in my Assassin's Creed game.
Okay.
Ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. A new take on progression, which they didn't detail, but I'm curious. As well as they gave a small explanation on smart delivery. It wasn't anything new, but they basically just said you buy a game once on any Xbox platform and it carries over with you.
Yep.
And that's it.
Okay, my notes I wrote after the fact. I didn't go into any detail, and I will go over them. And it'll take me like 2 minutes, maybe max. Um, I wrote bright memories. The highlight looked super cool, and that was it for that. And then okay, this next one's interesting. Almost every game said smart delivery. Which makes me kind of think that not all of these are launching on the Series X. They were just showing
I don't think
gameplay
so.
from the Series X. So like,
Well, I think
go for it.
I think they just said that so that like people know that they can still buy these games on Xbox One,
Yeah,
so that they can fade them out.
right.
It's gonna help with the fade in, fade out cycle
Yeah,
of the intergenerational gap.
which is fair. I just think that this Inside Xbox event was just, it did not accomplish what they wanted it to accomplish. Like I am not any more excited for the Xbox than I was. I was already excited. I like their design for it. I just, it's cool, but none of this made it any cooler for me, right? I'm not more excited for it than I was. I said not a good show in my opinion, seemed unnecessary without big hitters. An event was necessary, but not this event.
Right.
This was not
We needed
necessary.
something more substantial.
Yeah. That's it. That's all my notes for the Xbox event.
Okay. Yeah. No Halo. Wanted Halo.
Okay, this is where I ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay.
In the notes it says, Vid asks James a question.
Yeah. I had two, but I forgot my second one, and this one's the not as good one. But, okay, so today or yesterday, we got an article that says Valhalla will not be as big as Odyssey. Okay? And this is due to criticism that Odyssey was too big. Now, I know you didn't, or what are your thoughts on this? I know you didn't play Odyssey, but we're also moving into the next generation where they'll be able to do more things with a bigger world. So them making it smaller, like, where do you come down on this?
My initial reaction is that I'm okay with smaller. I think once you get too big, you start to have playtime that doesn't matter. You start to fall into, and this is gonna upset a lot of people, into the Red Dead 2 where I'm riding my horse for 15 minutes trying to get somewhere, and I'm just trying to get to point B, and there's nothing in between point A and point B that interests me. There might have a little like one-off, like, oh my god, save me, but like other than that, like I'm literally just trying to get to point B as fast as possible. And so once they make the game less about travel time and more about being in this world that will immerse the player and has a lot to offer and a lot of gameplay experiences, which I think they'll do, because from the points that we discussed last week, that seems that there's going to be a huge focus on detail and smaller things that will really immerse the player in this world. So I'm always immersion over size.
Okay, that's fair.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I would say Red Dead is more densely packed open world than Odyssey, but in a different way than Odyssey was. But I think Odyssey has a bigger map than Red Dead. But Odyssey has fast travel points, which makes it a lot more manageable to get around. And you have your ship and stuff, so it makes it more interesting to travel. But I do agree, Odyssey was too damn big. You basically, after you do the story, you've only explored like 60% of the map. And there's like, that 40% is huge that you have to do. Now they fill it with like mythical creatures and stuff to fight, which is fun. But even after all that, there's still areas where you haven't gone. And I went for the platinum for Odyssey, and it was like a chore. Like I literally printed out a map of the Assassin's Creed map and marked places, and I marked like a travel map that I had to do to platinum it.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's
an epic gamer move.
So I mean, I don't know. I wish Valhalla was a similar size. But they packed it with more things to do because of the power of the next gen console. But
I see what you mean.
I'm not sad about it being smaller. I'm sure it's not like they're gonna make it tiny. It'll just be smaller.
No, and I'm okay with it being. If it's as big as you're saying, like it's freaking enormous.
Odyssey is huge.
Then it doesn't. Games don't need to be huge.
No.
Like if it's unjustifiable, there has to be reason for it to be that huge.
Yeah.
If they're gonna make it that huge.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay, that's enough on that Xbox conference.
Yep.
Oh man.
Okay, so speaking of big games.
Yep.
CD Projekt Red teases a Cyberpunk event on June 11th, and it's this whole broadcast thing. They say it's going to be like Night City broadcast. I'm pulling up the tweet right now, and it just says Night City Wire, June 11th.
That's it.
There's really no info yet, but we'll see what's going on.
I'm sure we're getting gameplay.
A headline.
We're going to get gameplay, man. We got to.
You think so?
I mean, it's been like damn near a year since we've had gameplay.
All right, that's fair.
And
do you think it's going to be in this event, or do you think it's going to be during Summer Play?
Do you think this will tie into Summer Play?
Potentially. Very potentially.
We'll see.
Strong guess. This is what I think is going to happen with Summer Play. I think
hit me.
So if the rumors are true.
Oh, it's not Summer Play, it's Summer Game Fest. My bad.
Sorry, Summer Game Fest. Summer of Play was like the sale thing Xbox used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Gaming Fest, right?
Summer Game Fest, yeah.
Summer Game Fest. I think if the rumors are true, Sony is going to kick off the Summer Game Fest. Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
After their events in the beginning of June, which have been rumored.
Yeah.
And even
that'll be interesting.
Speculated by the very reliable Jason Schreier.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna kick off that event, and then after that, we're gonna get, huge game after a huge game.
Right.
That's ideal.
Okay.
But that's what I think is gonna happen.
Well.
Now, speaking of Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Yesterday or the day before, the ESRB put out their rating for what Cyberpunk's going to be and why Cyberpunk will be rated M.
Yeah.
And so this stirred up a lot of discussion.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
And why was that, Vin?
Well, basically, okay, a couple weeks ago we got a word from the ESRB that there will be sex workers in the game. And this made a lot of people upset, like morally
There's a whole
upset.
faction of sex workers.
Yes, and that was last week or whatever, and that discussion went on for a couple days, and then it died out for like a couple days, and then 3 days ago, ESRB released their long okay, this is what you can expect in the game. Now I'm not going to read all of that because it's not spoilers, but it's things I would rather not know than playing the game. But this article kind of avoids some of those more spoilery things and just gives us a rundown of the general gist of it. So basically the ESRB revealed that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be M, to no surprise. I mean, even the gameplays and stuff, they're pushing that rating. They are for sure pushing that rating with this game. So Cyberpunk 2077 may be in the running for the most detailed character creator ever, as it's been revealed that players can even customize their character's genitals. That's okay, Sure. What's another game that does this that I'm forgetting right now?
Saints Row.
Okay, besides Saints Row, there's another one. Ark Survival Evolved, you can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So this wasn't that surprising for me, but I guess the difference is that you will be able to see these, whereas in the other games it's just underneath clothes, right? That's kind of the difference I'm getting out of this.
I'm gonna link the ESRB article, the ESRB description in the description of the video, so that if you do want the extensive list, and description of the rating summary, you can go and look at that.
Okay. But just an overview, the description includes pretty much everything you can expect from Cyberpunk game, including blood and gore, intense violence, nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, and use of drugs and alcohol. On top of the sex and violence, there are other taboos, such as drug use. Apparently, there's an animated billboard ad of a man snorting speed, presumably not an anti-drug PSA, alcohol consumption, and foul language. And that's just
There's
a broad
also head.
overview. There is head. You're right. I missed it. I missed that. Yeah, so this game's going to be pushing it. Yeah. I'm very excited for this game.
I'm very excited.
They're not pulling
I think
any
this
punches.
game's gonna do a lot of things culturally that's gonna be very interesting to watch.
I guarantee days before it launches, when people have review copies, there's going to be articles all up in arms about something that they did, something that they're pushing the envelope a little bit on. I'm very excited for that.
And I can't fucking wait for hell to break loose when this game comes out.
It will. This game will not come out in certain countries. That's for sure.
That's for damn sure.
Yep.
Any more to say on that, Ben?
I got nothing more to say.
I have a question for you. What's
Yeah.
your meme build?
My meme build in Cyberpunk 2077?
Yes, like body build.
Oh, no legs, all chest.
Okay.
And he just walks around, but he's also super short. But like,
does he use
toothpick legs?
Do you make his cock so long?
Yeah.
That he uses it as a pogo stick?
I think that would be, what's the word I'm looking for? Presumed. That would be expected.
Oh, sure. Right.
That goes without saying. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yep. That's it.
I saw one dude, he was saying he's just going to make his guy so big, so huge, and give him the tiniest penis.
Right.
So that throughout the entire game, all he does is overcompensate. Everything he does is overcompensation.
Huge guns, big cars, big trucks.
Big everything.
Yeah, you love to
all
see
to
it.
make up for the little guy. Next on the list is from a little game that I enjoy. Vinny, did you like this game?
Did I like this game? I loved this game.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my god,
Right.
Enzo just platinumed this game, and I was like, wow, your first platinum.
Pissed. Some platinum did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What
game
game
we're
are we
talking
talking
about is
about?
Jedi
Yeah.
Fallen Order. It got a free update on May the 4th, Star Wars Day. And so, aside from fast travel, I will be up in arms until we get fast travel in Fallen Order. Because it makes the game so much worse not having fast travel.
I don't know if worse,
so I
but
posted
more frustrating.
It makes it a lot worse,
Okay.
in my opinion. I complain about it. I put it on the Star Wars Fallen Order subreddit, and this dude complained. I had people talking about how they were literally in tears on Dathomir in the swamps because they could not find their way back to the ship.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming. Someone said there's probably a pool of controllers somewhere on Dathomir that people have thrown.
Yep. That makes sense.
But what we do get in this update is meditation training, which comes in the form of combat challenges. They're just different challenges of waves of enemies, different types of enemies.
Yeah.
The hardest one of which is fighting the 9th sister and the 2nd sister at the same time. I tried it. It's very difficult. There's also a battle grid, which allows you to create your own battle scenarios. However, there's no way to share said battle scenarios, which is a little bit of a letdown for me.
But I'm sure you could
As a
post
result,
the grid, and have people be like, okay, this is pretty tough if you put this guy here, this guy here, this guy here.
Sure.
And people can just imitate it. But yeah, you're right. There's no post and share battle grid.
I wish there was some sort of leaderboard or something cool for that.
Right.
But to get marks, so there's 3 stars you could get for everyone. The first one is kill all enemies. That's literally just passing it. The second one is don't use any stims for the whole fight. And the third one is don't take any damage. And so you need, I think it's 12 stars to get a BD1 skin, of which I think there are 3 new BD1 skins included in this free update. However, there are no new ponchos, but there are new lightsaber parts. in the New Journey Plus mode, which
and
is
a skin,
New Game
bro.
Plus,
We're missing the skin in here.
I know. I'm getting
okay.
to that once we get to New Journey Plus.
I'm sorry.
So, in New Journey Plus, you get to keep all cosmetics that you previously had.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition, once you start New Journey Plus, you get, right upon when you start it, you get Cal's Inquisitor outfit. And then the minute you get to a workbench to customize your lightsaber, you also obtain the red Kyber crystal. And the 2 lightsabers from Star Wars Galaxy Edge and I forgot what the technical name for it is, but the Old Republic style lightsabers, those parts are now in the game for you to customize your lightsaber. They're pretty cool. They're called Protection and Defense 1 and 2. There it is.
Yeah.
I knew I'd remember to write it down. And the question that I pose is, does this mean there's going to be more Galaxy's Edge saber parts on the way to this game? I know they have a lot of them already, right? They have a lot of the ones in place already in the game. However, there's a few that they don't have. I understand that they wouldn't have the Rancor tooth because these are double-edged lightsabers.
Do you think that they'll be saving some of these for Fallen Order 2 also? They'll probably have all these parts plus way more in the second Fallen Order.
I would hope that in the second one. Is this on the docket? Did we really not put this on the docket?
What? That EA declared Fallen Order a franchise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm impromptu adding this.
Yes.
EA declared that Fallen Order is now a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah. We knew we were getting a second one.
Yeah, we kind of did.
But, I mean, I don't know. That's cool. We'll get more.
It's cool. Anyway.
Big fan.
Any more thoughts,
Order.
man?
Big fan of Star Wars. I saw some of the battle system, so I watched Enzo play it, but I haven't tried it firsthand. And that's it.
I got really frustrated with the game.
Yeah,
I got all the secrets and all the chests on Zepho, and it's still at 99% completion.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally just have to run around until I find that one little spot of map that I have not uncovered yet.
Yeah.
And then I'll finally 100% Zepho. But
it happens. You'll get it.
Infuriating
with time.
How fast travel between meditation points.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
This next article, EA will let you upgrade their upcoming current games to run on next-gen PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles for free. This comes from Rose Chelsea at dental.com. I don't know if I've seen dental.com yet. This is a new one.
We've used it probably 3 times before.
Okay. I guess I've just never noticed it.
I remember Rose Chelsea.
This isn't like big news, I guess, but it's confirmation that we're getting that all EA games will let you upgrade to the next console.
Right.
So
EA has their own quote. Sorry, I hate to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
In a sense, they have their own smart delivery service for their games.
Right. And so EA had a big earnings call this week, which is public. All these earning calls and stuff like that are public for investors. So if you wanted to listen in on this phone call, you totally could, but we're just getting secondhand information from this. So in an earnings call, EA COO Blake Jorgensen said, this year, this year the phasing includes the effect of revenue recognition from the games we are launching for the current generation of consoles that can also be upgraded free for next generation. So we're back to the conversation of backwards compatibility in regards to game upgrades. Probable conclusion is that it's simply up to developers to decide. So in this case, EA is definitely deciding to upgrade their games. I'm sure most people will be, or they will be left in the dust, and they don't want to be left in the dust.
Unless these devs are greedy hogs and just want to make you buy their games twice.
Absolutely.
Looking at you, Rockstar. I'm kidding. Everyone did that last year.
Hopefully we're moving in the right direction. In the same earnings call, EA announced that they will be releasing 14 games in the next 11 months. Speculation on what these games actually are, but they are hinted at 4 sports games, FIFA, Madden, NHL, and 1 unannounced game. I'm trying to think of what the other games would be, or like anything.
Mass Effect Andromeda 2.
You think so?
No.
After that colossal failure of Mass Effect Andromeda?
You know what? I'm actually still kind of upset about that.
I want to play it.
Because I wanted Andromeda to be really good.
Yeah. You
Because
and
I
everybody
love the
else.
Mass Effect games. I love them. I love them to death.
Yeah.
The character relationships were just so good.
Still never played a Mass Effect game.
Mass Effect 2 is so good.
I know. I'm missing out big
so
time.
One of the best sci-fi narratives.
Oh,
God, it's so good.
okay.
Oh my God.
I gotta play.
It does like side character backstory really well.
Yeah. That's good.
But
I gotta check.
I don't know what it could be. EA has so many IPs.
Yeah, that reminds me. This article also said that these might be some like mobile games also. Because imagine launching 14 big games in less than a year.
It's probably going to be FIFA Mobile, Madden Mobile,
Exactly.
NHL Mobile as well.
We're gonna get a couple mobile games, no question. Oh,
And that's already 6 games right there.
is
if
Gods
you
and
put in
Monsters
mobiles
EA? Because I'm so excited for that game. It's like
That game
Zelda
looks
and
really
Odyssey had a baby.
Yeah, it's almost like a Shadow Colossus ordeal. No, Ubisoft.
Damn, I'm way off. Oh well.
Oh, is this a Switch exclusive? No. I just saw on Google there's a Best Buy thing for Gods and Monsters. For Switch. I can't wait for this game. It looks
Yeah, me neither.
cool.
Okay,
All right.
we got a couple more stories.
We do have a couple more stories. It is 10:01. Let's keep going.
All right. The PS5 will not be backwards compatible with PS3 through PS1. This comes from Tyler Fisher at comicbook.com. While Sony Interactive Entertainment confirmed the new console will play current generation, PS4, there's no proof that PS3, PS2, or even PS1 games will also be playable on the system. Developer and Cradle Games technical director Marc-Andre Jutras, is that what you say it? I don't know. That looks about right. Has explained why the PlayStation 5 is unlikely to run these games from every previous console generation in the system history. According to the technical director, it's easy to understand the frustration of PlayStation gamers, as many of which don't understand why Sony has struggled on this front. He says, as a gamer, it's hard to figure out what the big deal with this is. How come PS5 isn't backwards compatible with PS3, 2, and 1? If I can find some emulator for all those on my PC, and the new consoles are just as powerful as a good gaming PC, then there's no reason for all those games not to run, even with glitches. I wish they could just find a way to deal with it and cover everything, even not perfectly. But he goes on to say that Jutras notes that it's a licensing nightmare the further you go backwards compatibility. As a developer, I can see where these legal stuff could get blurry, especially if the goal is to have these older games sold in some stores, said the technical director. Some companies don't exist anymore, and licenses of those titles might not be easy to figure out. I also understand that the older consoles might have some form of hardware DRM that could prevent newer consoles from reading older discs. To be honest, I just wish backwards compatibility wasn't a novel thing and just an expected feature covering all titles. Of course, for now, Sony hasn't confirmed one or another if the PS3 will play PS3, 2, and 1 games. At the end of the day, all of this worrying about the future may be for nothing. So, this is not confirmation that PS5 will not be PS3, 2, and 1 backwards compatible, but this is from a developer who believes that they will not have backwards compatibility due to the licensing and all that kind of stuff for these games, which is totally understandable. Like, I read this, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know. It'll be up to Sony.
It'll definitely be up to Sony. Yeah, I feel like if it was backwards compatible, they would have already announced it with the PS4 backwards compatibility, but maybe they're saving it. Maybe they're saving it for like a big bang, or they just won't talk about it at all.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to try and speculate too hard on this because it'll be... I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll work itself out, but I don't know. Would you even want to see it be PS3, PS2, and PS1 backwards compatible?
I honestly don't care that much.
Okay.
I honestly really don't care. I don't hear anyone really saying, "Oh, I wish I could go back and play Jack and Daxter, when a lot of these games, they already have remasters
Yeah.
of that are playable on the PS4, right? So if it's on the PS4 license, why couldn't they bring it from the PS4?
Right.
You know?
I mean, I guess this is just in situations where, like, for instance, I have a PS1 hooked up to my TV in the living room, and, like, me and my dad and my brother will play Tekken 2 on it, like, all the time, fight each other, and that's fun. I would love to pop that into, like, a PS5 and play it. And, like, I don't know, Force Unleashed, I would love to play those games on the PS5. Like, there's, cool. Like, obscure games here and there that I'd be like, oh, I would love to play that on PS5.
Right.
But that's it. It wouldn't be all the time.
What if it works? What if it works itself into some redone model of PlayStation Now?
That would be interesting. There's so many subscriptions. It's so hard for me to buy another subscription-based something, you know?
You would 10 out of 10 pay for Xbox Game Pass if you had an Xbox.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I'm talking like
so
a separate subscription for backwards compatibility games. Like a digital
that's not
thing.
what I was inferring.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, like, you would pay for, like, if PlayStation Now was completely revamped, and a part of that was the backwards compatibility,
yeah,
would that be a further incentive to pay for PlayStation Now?
I think so.
If you said, all right, in PlayStation Now, in addition to getting free games, like, it'd be essentially the same thing as Xbox Game Pass, where they get, like, big games from current generation. They also get games from last gen as a part of the Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Then yeah, I would definitely think about it more, for sure. I think they'd get a lot of people.
Yeah, but that's Sony's decision.
Time will tell.
Now, Amazon's been working on a multiplayer game, right? And it's kind of out of the woodworks, but this is their first big budget title. It's called Crucible.
Yep.
And it's free to play. I also, in this article, they reference Valorant as another free to play shooter. I didn't know Valorant was free to play.
What? Me neither.
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
I'm going to double check that, but I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But Crucible is a sci-fi third-person shooter with a mix of multiple popular game designs. Like shooters like Overwatch, battle arenas like Dota 2, battle royales like Fortnite and Apex. Yeah. There's a roster of characters. There's 3 main game modes called Heart of the Hives, Alpha Hunters, and Harvester Command. Heart of the Hives is like 4v4ve, so it's it's 2 teams of 4 against a team of like computer-controlled enemies. Alpha Hunters is 8 teams of 2, so duos, battle royale, but it's only 16 people, right?
Dude, they're covering all the fronts.
They are covering all the fronts, and then they literally said, which one of these popular game styles should we do? They said, why don't we do all of them?
Let's just do them all, baby.
Harvester Command is similar to a MOBA format like League of Legends or Smite or Dota, with 2 teams of 8, so that's 16 players total, with the objective, which that is actually bigger than a normal MOBA game. Normally it's 2 teams of, I want to say 4 or 5. So with the objective to collect essence and level up your characters mid-game. Very reminiscent of a MOBA title like League of Legends. And I'm double checking on the Valorant. It sounds cool. It's free to play, so you're not really losing anything for playing. Yeah. I meant to watch this first look trailer, but there is a first look trailer up online.
Oh, I'll have to look at that after this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both games. Okay, so it says this comes from The Verge, from Nick Stapp. And it says, quote, while the certainty sounds like a game trying to offer a bit of everything to everyone, it sure does feel like Crucible is shooting for a similar section of the gaming zeitgeist as Riot Games' new tactical shooter, Valorant, which mixes Overwatch elements with the core game design of Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Right.
Both games are free to play, PC-only shooters. Quote, or parentheses, at least until console versions are announced. That will surely try to win over many streamers and pro players to capture a top viewership slot on Twitch. The big difference is that Crucible is created by the company that owns Twitch, which may offer it some marketing advantages, and its creators seem to be targeting casual players as well as competitive ones, while Valorant is strictly catering to the competitive crowd. Crucible is also launching later this month, while Valorant won't be out until later in the summer.
Cool.
But both are going to be vying for the attention of, and then I think there's an error in the article because there's nothing there.
Well, I mean, it sounds cool. I mean, I'd be excited to check it out. Obviously, I can't play it because I have a Mac, but I'm excited to see other people play it, I guess.
You'll get there, Vin.
I know.
You'll get there, Vin.
I know. I'm gonna need a PC so I can run this damn podcast better. Holy crap. Okay, this next one you're excited about?
Honestly, I'm not that excited about
Okay.
because I don't own. So, earlier this week, we got a DLC reveal for Mortal Kombat 11. It's
Trailer
called
was cool.
Aftermath. And it's a story expansion for MK11. This is actually very out of the ordinary for another Realm game in which they don't normally issue story expansions. But hopefully, this is a new form that they will try to be implementing in their games from here on out as
Here's my guess.
as story reveals or a story DLC.
I think there's going to be a while till we get a next Mortal Kombat, like on the next generation. And so this is filling that void. I mean, I'm sure it's like a good idea that I'm sure that this isn't like, oh, we just need to have something out. I'm sure they're proud of this. I'm not just saying they're just like getting stuff out or anything. But I'm assuming that since they're doing this DLC, we got a while till the next MK.
Sure. And, well, it's probably going to be an injustice if we're following the cycle.
Oh, shit. I hope so. I love Injustice so much.
I love Injustice so much. I like it more than Mortal Kombat personally, but I know there's a very hardcore Mortal Kombat crowd out there.
Yep.
They play differently, respectively. But here's what the Aftermath DLC includes. Story expansion, of course. The story, quote, the story campaign. Oh my god, I can't read today. Quote, the story campaign continues with an all-new cinematic narrative that picks up directly where MK11 left off. End quote. With 3 new playable characters, Fujin, Shiva, and RoboCop. There's also 3... It's unexpected. 3 new character skin packs that will be released over time. To probably keep players
people
engaged.
engaged, yeah.
Mm-hmm. As well as an exclusive Thanks a Million Johnny Cage character skin. And if you already own the base game, so the way this works is they're releasing an edition of the game called like the Aftermath edition or something similar to that, and it'll include the base game plus
got it
the Aftermath DLC. And so if you already own the base game, there's more new content for you if you already own it, which includes new stages like the classic Deadpool, not to be confused with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Sure.
And Soul Chamber arenas, as well as stage fatalities and friendships. So like inter-character dynamics, kind of like probably that like before you start the fight, the little banter between the two or something similar to that. Coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Nintendo eShop, and pre-orders have been live since Wednesday. And it's going to be $39.99.
Okay, quick question. Is this $39.99 for base game and Aftermath, or just Aftermath?
I think I was reading it, and I think it's $39.99 for the base game plus Aftermath.
That's good then. That's cool.
I'm double checking because I remember asking myself the same question. I thought it was more apparent in my notes.
Okay.
But it's not. The Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath price. So I think that's in relation to the full game plus Aftermath.
All right.
Oh wait, never mind. It's Aftermath Collection. That's the full game.
Got it. And that's
so
60?
I'm sure it'll be 60.
Okay.
I'm sorry, don't quote me on that. That is
No,
not
you're
informed. That's a guess.
No worries.
But I think it's going to be 60.
Okay.
And then the DLC price alone was 40.
Sweet.
And then I was talking to some buddies about it yesterday who do play Mortal Kombat, and they think we're also going to get another combat pack.
Ooh,
with
some more characters
after this with new characters. But
nice.
I think I think it's going to go this and then a few months because we do have those 3 characters dropping.
Yeah.
So it would be the normal gap in time as if we were to get a combat pack now.
Keep people interested.
Keep the player base going.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for random fun stuff.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Hell yeah, it is.
All right, I got to start this one off because I'm so excited about it. All right. The original Battlefront 2004 now supports online multiplayer on Steam. This comes after years of not being on multiplayer. There was a certain launcher it was supported multiplayer by a certain company, and like 5 or 6 years ago that company went under, so there has been no multiplayer since then, but Steam picks it up. That's awesome. I'm not sure why they're reviving servers from 2004, but hey, it's awesome.
My thought is just kind of like, why? I'm sure like people enjoy this, but we've also already had Battlefront 2 servers on for a while, so I don't know.
Yep.
Vader Immortals coming to PSVR this summer. This used to be an Oculus exclusive, but now it is on its way to PlayStation VR. So those who want a little bit of a lower entry point to VR can experience Vader Immortal. It is canon.
Yes, sir. The Prince of Persia 6 domain registered by Ubisoft. Now,
this is funny because we also got the canceled Prince of Persia footage unveiled from like many years ago.
No, but that's been out for like 6 years, just refound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it. You watched it, right?
I watched some of it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks fine.
Oh, cool. I think Mitch Dyer, from who either does or used to work at IGN, tweeted out, "No way they had this budget for the game back in 2008. I don't think they'd have the budget for it now."
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
But
I'm excited for the new.
It's not
Prince
the same
Persia.
game.
Right.
Right.
Not at all.
All right. A couple of data miners found some files that hint at a new Warzone map in Modern Warfare. It could be coming with the next season, which starts in 24 days. Still unknown what it is or what that might be, but hint at a new Warzone map.
Yeah, they're keeping the content coming on COD for sure. Okay, how do I say? Is it Deus Ex?
Deus Ex.
Thanks, I knew it. All right, Deus Ex Go is free on iOS and Android till May 7th, which is over now. Okay, we're skip this one. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry we're late to that. Damn it. The funny part is, James, I saw this and I was gonna put it in random fun stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, we're fine. We have time. The people have time. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't have time anymore to pick it up. Okay, that's it.
Halo 2 Remastered to release as part of the Master Chief Collection on May 12th. You'd probably already think that it's a part of the Master Chief Collection, but guess what? It's not.
But now it is, baby.
Now it is.
Yep.
Well, May 12th, 4 days. What is that, Tuesday?
Yep, Tuesday. And the final one, Bungie confirms Destiny 2 will be on next gen. More details soon. I'm not surprised.
No.
Hey, if it cuts down load times, I'm back in, because the load times in that game are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I don't think I'll ever be back into Destiny 2. It's too MMO for me.
Yeah, I could say that, but I know I'll be roped back in with like one update or something, you know? That's just how it goes. I'm weak.
That's okay.
Okay. I think we're going to save these discussion questions for next time. Or you want to just go with them? We're an hour and 15 in.
Yeah, let's cut it.
Okay. All right. We will answer these questions on next week's show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for episode 14 of Strictly Casual Podcast.
Episode 14 is Strictly Casual.
If you haven't seen, our previous episode is our Star Wars ranking, and we put a lot of time into it. It's a great time. It's a fun time. So if you haven't checked that out already, it'll be the following video to this. I'll have the little end screen bumper going on. And have a great week. Our Discord is in the description. You can write in. I say whatever you want. Hang out. We got a little fun community going in over there. Yeah. Anything else to close us out?
And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for 120 subs.
That's right.
So huge.
Yeah.
As well as 500 views on the last video. I know we already mentioned it earlier in this podcast, but I just want to reiterate, say we're so thankful for you guys. We wouldn't be doing this without you.
That's right. Thank you guys so much.
And with that being said,
It's a wrap.
that's a wrap.
Peace out, everybody.